Alright, timestamp. It is December 10th, 2025. About 8:30 a.m. Hey, script. That's my butt. Um, actually slept pretty good again. But I did get up at doing this like two-part sleep thing that I'm doing, where I wake up at like midnight or 1 o'clock and I do stuff for an hour or two, and then I go back down for like 5 or 6 hours after getting a 2 or 3 hour nap. It was again last night. Weird. But when you add it up, I'm actually getting like 8 hours. A little congested. Nothing crazy, but a little. Having things happen that you can't see that make me feel like I'm easy. Like maybe someone should have bought me a drink first. I happen to know Tiny's been up and taking you out. I mean, I might succumb if you keep provoking me the way that you are. Having Rocky Horror flashbacks over here. We're Susan it up this morning. And I don't know what I'm drinking coffee-wise. No, that's the Chihuahua making that noise. Scrappy's probably too close to him. I think it is the Harry and David milk chocolate caramel, I believe. Which, it's not a bad thing to look up to. It's like over half the pot. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Oh. Yeah, Tiny made a pot. It was seen a few hours ago. Had a cup or two. And has been living a vampire lifestyle, so may have already crawled into the crypt. Because the sun's up. Has been for like an hour or two. Tightly packed package. Oh. If I'm reading this right, as far as what's come in, what hasn't, this shouldn't be my two dialects. So, as a refresher, the court / my lawyer, or really the lawyer and then in order, the court should have gotten the initial documentation they needed about my dad and or my dad's estate and whatnot. So, I don't know if that'll go past without a whimper from the court, or if they're going to demand that I appear and explain why I'm late. I'm hoping that they will just get, well, I don't want them to get annoyed, but I'm hoping that they will get annoyed, possibly grumble quietly, send out a letter saying, please don't do that again. Beautiful things. Because I've really I was explaining this to the lawyer because I feel like my lawyer slash paralegal was like dragging her heels on this, causing some of the delay. I'm like, look, I'm not doing anything wrong here, but can we avoid the scrutiny of having to appear and provide extra documentation that I may or may not be able to find? It's just avoidable if we're on time. Can you cooperate with me on this? Take this seriously and be a little faster than answering, with one email every hour or two. Because seriously, that makes a 20-minute conversation last 2 days. That's really avoidable. It almost is the, like, Matt Damon, The Martian communication. You can send one sentence every, hour or two. Well, that'll make a full-on conversation last for a week. And that's kind of what we had going on. And I'd rather we did this a little bit smoother and faster. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's actually smart. So, for this one, I don't think I've ever ordered from this vendor before. They put them in bags with no clear opening to it. Kidding. I can figure my way out of a bag. Probably. They actually took the suction cup and the sensor and the pew-pew and I'm going to put you in a regular Ziploc because, wow, they actually shipped that separately, which is not exactly a bad idea, because in transport, with those things sticking out, that could go old snappy. That's actually a fairly smart thing to do. I've not seen anybody do that so far. Buying them loose, buying them in, their actual blister boxes and whatnot, there's really no need because they're in a, very tight-fitting ting. So that's on the right, and pew-pew on the left. I had to think about it in my head, wait a minute, how do they normally... But you're right. Okay, it does have a ridge. There we go. Hey. Now you're a real boy. It's not incredibly exotic or anything, but I love the color scheme on these. I've always been a sucker for a good yellow with a good blue, though. Purple and lemon yellow are my two favorite colors. And they can work well together. More often than not, when you do color stuff, though, especially if you're asking a computer, it wants to pair gold with purple. The Minnesota Vikings, as an example. Which, yeah. But I'm not really a gold fan so much as a bright, highlighter lemon yellow. I can't wear the color, because it makes me look like I'm jaundiced, but as colors go, I like it. It makes me feel good inside. And that is kind of a something in between a mustard yellow and a gold-ish. With the sheen to it, it almost has a metallic quality, but not drastically so. But that on the gray with the blue just looks really sharp, I think. And I want to say these are from the Chase or something like that. It's like one of the William Hartnells, which they're in black and white, but for some reason, and again, this may be what they look like actually on set, but they filmed in black and white. So pretty. Should probably say Terry Nation under here. Dialect image BBC/Terry Nation. But this may actually, and I've seen behind the scenes stuff advertised for them, for those episodes, and I just haven't watched them, and I probably should, because that will probably give me context here. But this may be the actual color scheme of the ones on set, even though you couldn't see it in the final production. And or maybe what they did if they'd colorized them, because I know they colorized a lot of the Hartnell and Troughton episodes. I've actually got the War Games, which I think is like almost the entire last season of Patrick Troughton, if not the last season. Like Trial of a Time Lord, it's like a really long episode. I've got it in my Amazon cart. I'm considering pushing the button on. I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure out if it's the entire third season, because if it is, then the $18 or whatnot they're asking isn't too unreasonable. But I'm not going to pay $20 for like an episode, even if it's a really long one. But I will pay, $20 to $30 for a season or a series. And I picked up quite a few like Blu-ray and DVD series, because they call them really series, not season, of The Who for like in between 20 and 30. Trying to make sure this is my own, like, number one, I like having a physical copy on hand, just to know that I actually have it and can watch it at any time, which goes back to the idea of I'm not like an Armageddon prepper exactly, but I am aware that things could go sideways in a lot of ways, and if the internet were to shut down, and or there were to be technological issues. Janus is being all weird over here. The knowledge that I still have a copy of and could watch is cool. You know what I mean? And I know there's the whole, well, what if the electricity goes out? We've got a solar rig here. It's not installed yet. We want to install it. My dad is staunchly against, not necessarily the concept of solar, because he has gear, we have gear. Together we've got a full system plus. But he is very, very much of the opinion that no matter what you do, solar messes up your roof. Solar does this, it does that. It's mostly fear-mongering stuff that he saw on TV. He got the gear to do it, and then I'm sure somebody on Fox or OAN said, oh, don't do that, it destroys your property value or whatever. Like, yeah, okay, if it's working correctly, if it's installed right, it doesn't destroy anything, it increases the property value, and it saves you on your electric bill. And it's green. Imagine that, we could stop destroying the planet. Crazy. Oh, you sexy thing. But yeah, I have, this is probably numbers 4 and 5 of this particular model, which, I'm not gonna lie, pleases me. Makes me happy. Of the different dialects that are out there to have like an army of or whatnot, this is one of the ones that makes me happy. I've got this, and I've got the gray one from Genesis of the Dialects. I've got 3 or 4 of those. And I think I have 5 of the white ones from the Skittles. Because I do want a couple different dialects that I have, like, at least 5 of, to be able to do a satisfying diorama to where the implication that there is an army of these might be inferred. And this is a good looking model to do that with. You have these 5, and then you have one that kind of fits in the color palette to look as though it's the commander of the unit or what have you, and you have what on screen or on shelf looks like this is an invading force. Right. Excuse me. Pics should be coming over today. Got a few more sales to send out. Sent out 4 yesterday. Business has been good. It's been brisk. My cat is staring at me. Sup, X? Slow blink right at you. Oh. Yeah, that's good stuff. Playing these slow blink game with each other. Yeah, don't jump up on the bar, man. It's a mess over here. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah. Come on, buddy. Chirping at me. That's my cat. Okay. Gonna go check the kibble situation? Yeah, let me know. Said hi to me. He's gonna go check the food supply. Priorities. Yep. Love that cat. I don't know if it's picking it up or not, but he's yelling, like singing from the garage. Yeah, going over my list. I know we gotta do another post office run, which I like having to do that, because it means that, we're selling things. So, auction-wise, I got flagged last night letting me know that I had auction selling, and I looked in one of my Scooby and one of my Doctor Who lots is experiencing a small bid war, which, feel free, that's fine. Those I think close on either Saturday or Sunday. I mean, I know they close on either Saturday or Sunday. I'm just not sure which one it is. I think Saturday. Auctions, it's always best to have them in on Saturday. If you can do it Sunday, you can. Friday night, yeah. But Saturday afternoon to early evening is best. You guaranteed the best exposure in the wee hours of the auction, which that's usually when the fights start, frankly. But some lots will start early, and that's okay, for the seller, because that's 3, 4, 6 days of concentrated competition, which that means the price is going up. So, and I mean, we still have stockpile from what my mom gave me, but as far as the whole making money on the regular, that is my part-time job that brings in extra cash. So, need it, want it. That's cool. Please, feel free. My prices are fair. I'm not extortive. I know a lot of dealers that are, and I'm just, if I have a one-of-a-kind item, that's one thing, but if I have a one-of-a-kind item that 30 people also have, I'm not going to go for the big price that everybody else is going for. I'm not going to undercut, like, real severely, but I'm not going to ask $20 for a $100 item, but I'm not going to ask $200 for it either. You see all types. But yeah, I got to get my list. I got my list, but I can actually get back on my list now that the fun and games with the lawyer is concerned. I still need to work on the disaster plan. I mean, not work on, but wrap up. I already started it. Talked to the shrink from the facility my dad's at yesterday. I think I told you this. One thing I might not have said is that she already sent over a list of his psych meds. And she's supposed to be back in the office today. And she said she sent over a list of the other meds. She only had the psych ones with her because, that's directly what she does. She said she could get the main master list of his regular, like, physical meds to me as well. Which is cool, because that's one of the things that they want to know in this disaster plan is, what is he on? Which, yeah, that seems like a reasonable question to ask. From trying to figure out, like, backwards engineering, reverse engineering, like, what is he on will kind of tell us what's wrong with him. But also from a standpoint of, if they were to find him wandering the streets, what should he be having? So, yeah, I get it. It's a disaster plan, so that might be after a hurricane and all the computer systems are down, them having a printed copy somewhere of what he should have on record with the government. Okay. Sure. And again, reverse engineering the medical. If you know what medication somebody's on, you kind of know what diseases or things they have. Right? Sent a note to one of my guys, Spencer. It was his birthday. Just, quick happy birthday note. And he just responded. It came across the top of my screen. Oh. Spencer. Two things about Spencer. Was an invaluable tech when we were doing some of the theater we were doing at the Shack. And also much better singing voice than he thought he had. Because he could sing, but he sometimes got intimidated by the script almost, and didn't need to. He had the chops necessary. He could do it, and he didn't hear it enough. I think better than he thought he was in that respect. Good guy. Now, speaking past tense, not because he's passed, he's still very much alive and kicking. But we haven't worked together in, 10 years. God, that hurts. It sucks to say that. I miss doing that so much. And I'd like to think that I will again. Makes my soul happy doing that kind of stuff, but got my hands full right now. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. I mean, bright side, if I were to start doing something, which I'm not, because I really do have my hands full, I don't have a 9 to 5 or a job that would conflict with rehearsal schedules and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's tickling the back of my head, but yeah, no, I got my hands full. Let me at least work on this solid for a good year. Not a good year or a Michelin or anything like that, although I do have some out back. They're Volkswagen size, but I've got them. They're probably rotting away because they've been there for 5-10 years not being used. But there's a lot of decay here in its own special way. You know what I mean? Books and papers that have been stored in moisture, electronics that have been stored around moisture, things that may have had value once that now really don't. It's a shame, but there's a whole lot of nothing I can do about that. Unless I put all of it in a giant house-sized bag of rice. It worked for my Samsung once. Yeah, Tiny did that. The ceiling air filters, Tiny changed them out. Some on-the-job training. Did fine, but 20 questions beforehand of, oh my god, am I going to do this right? Did fine. Don't overcomplicate it. It's actually pretty easy. Unscrew, pull the old one, verify that it is actually dirty. It won't be the color it came in. Because if it's not dirty, then that's great. You can just put that one back up again. But it's probably going to be dirty. And then put another one in its place where you got that one from, and then re-screw the lid. Re-screw the hatch. But there was fear and trepidation. 18-year-old kid, first time doing something. Just jump in, do it. Don't overthink it. It's pretty basic. Just take the first step and see what it looks like. Take the second step. What does that look like? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, I need to take a shower too. Dishes out and gotta pay my dad's rent. Yep. Yep. Health check. A little congested, like I said. I can hear it too. But I feel good. I feel like I actually got rest. I feel like I could go back to sleep for a couple hours, but I know that I should not. Because list, I got my 8 for the second time in 3 weeks, maybe? I don't know. It's cool. It's weird, and I feel almost guilty for doing it, but is that weird? 3 hours sleep, waking up, and deciding, no, I'm going back to bed. 3 is not enough, though. I can drop pretty deep quick as far as, getting my REM and all that. I can drop down pretty quick. I can exist on 4 hours, 5 hours sleep a night, but after a while, the body and the brain start reminding you, a little more would be okay. If you wanted to, we could try it. You know, some people talk about how they need 10. You know, we could give that a shot if you wanted. You know, try it on, see what it looks like. See if it makes your eyes really pop or not. You know. Oh man. Yeah, I got some dishes to do. It's not hideous, but it's definitely that. Okay, that sink is full. One side, you know, a lot of bowls. Well, let's do that. Yeah. Got some new mugs, you know. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna get to it. I hope you have a fabulous day. And even if it's not looking like it, make it so. That's the idea. That's why I say what I do. Because everything's attitude. You know, there's nothing neither good nor bad, but thinking makes it so. Now his framework on that was a little stinky because, you know, Denmark is a prison. But the reverse is true too. You know, Henry Ford, whether you think you can or can't, you're right. Say what you want about old Henry, there was some wisdom there. And I think that's actually his statement. I hear all the time that, oh, well, that's not a real quote from that person, but everybody seems to think that that one did come from Henry Ford. And there have been variations from wise people over the years. But, you know, manifestation, attitude is everything, all that. So I say again to you, Uncle, make it a great day.